Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ash, and in this video we will be covering something slightly different. It's going to be a bit of a rant about what is the problem with overthinking. Now, we all know that overthinking occurs in everybody's lives and in multiple different areas, and it's super normal. But if you feel like your life is not exactly where you want it to be, or that you're not making as much progress as you feel like you should be, there could be an element of this overthinking that's really holding you back. And it can be showing up in a really simple way of you just thinking multiple times about whether you should post something or not on social media versus something so big as to whether you should be making a career move or not, and all the things in between. And as a society, we have to recognize that we have come this far from over-reliance on social media. Not that social media is a bad thing. You all know I am a huge proponent of social media and super advocate of all the good uses it has. But one thing we can be definitely clear of is that social media portrays people's highlight reel. Other platforms like Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok to a certain extent, you might see a lot of people just trying to show what their life is like. You're not going to show any bad photos. You're likely not going to show photos where things are going wrong. You're instead capturing happy memories, capturing things that are always going right. So just like that on social media, you're very likely to be just showcasing the highlight reel of people's lives. Now, if you're a person who overthinks, there's a high likelihood that you are comparing somebody else's highlight reel to your real life and feeling inadequate because of that gap. But the problem is, your real life is probably also as good as that highlight reel if you looked at it that way. But because you're overthinking, you're not going to be looking at it that way. Another thing that overthinkers do quite a lot is analyze and overanalyze the worst case scenario. Now, I'm not necessarily an optimist by any stretch of the word, but I'm definitely not a pessimist. I definitely do not look at things glass half empty. Now, there's this great story I heard somewhere about, why the rear view mirror is so small in a car if you're driving. A rear view mirror is so small because you only need it to see what you've passed and to make sure that what you've passed doesn't catch up on you. But the windshield, the front screen is massive because that's the future. That's where you should be heading. So you can't drive a car forward by looking at your rear view mirror. So if you're an overthinker, there's a high likelihood that you're just looking at worst case scenarios and using your past experience as evidence to prove why something you're about to do now or you want to do will not work. And that's why you shouldn't do it. Right? Or you're just overanalyzing every single aspect of why it could go wrong, that you end up actually not doing that much at all. This is a huge reason why people procrastinate. I'm going to link a video about here about procrastination, goal setting, and things like that. But this is a massive reason why people procrastinate, because the task they put ahead of themselves is massive. Now, they can't go forward because they're not done finishing or not finished analyzing. And they haven't finished analyzing because they're too scared to take the next step forward. The only way to break this overthinking pattern is to actually take the next best step. Now, this is actually something that's really important that I've been starting to live my life by for the last 6 months or so, and it's all about the next best step. I promised at the start of this year that I will be putting forward 52 videos in this year, YouTube videos. So that's one video every single week. Now, I was going to put a video out yesterday, but interesting thing was, the video I'm recording right now, I had previously recorded and edited, but I hadn't saved it. As I was saving it, there was not enough memory on my phone. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to delete some videos because that's going to be taking a lot of my space. And then I can just save this one. But guess what I did? Part of the videos that I deleted was actually about this video that I'm filming now, which was previously recorded. So anyway, that video that I had previously recorded is gone, so now I'm filming this video right now, right? And I'm putting it a day later. The best step that I could have done in overall was to publish a video yesterday, but because of complications that happened, I had two choices. I can either just look at it and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. How did that go so wrong? And I can't do anything now. I can't go ahead. Or I can just say, well, the best step was to put it on the Sunday because it matches my pattern. But the next best step is to just refilm it and put it out tomorrow because it doesn't matter, right? The next best step is what I had to do. So the concept of the next best step has really allowed me to go make so many decisions and actually move forward with things, because sometimes the best step just takes a long time. Even the way to think about this is overthinking also leads to perfectionism, which means that if you're an overthinker, you're likely also caring about every single little detail, and so you want things to be perfect. But here's the problem. How do you decide what's perfect? Because what you think might be perfect might not be perfect to me, and what I think might be perfect might not be perfect to you. Perfect is just subjective. So instead, isn't it better to focus on progress over perfection? In the YouTube world, there's this whole saying about how, your first video you ever make is going to be crap. The 100th video that you make is going to be amazing. But you'll never get to the 100th video unless you make the first one. So isn't it better to get the first one out the way first? I'm hoping that you will find this content useful, and if you do, remember to put a thumbs up and subscribe down below. But if you do find this kind of content useful, then it's more important that I get it out, right? Because I'm learning all the time, and I'm sharing with you guys what I'm learning because I think it'd be valuable to help you to change your life. Just like that, focusing on progress over perfection can actually allow you to build momentum in your life, whether it be to be better at your work, be able to perform better in your objectives at work, being more effective. This is massively useful if you're going to be working. And I see so many people that, when they're in a job, they can't get as much done as they want within their time period, so end up staying late, and they work, 10, 12 hours a day, and they still feel like they're always behind. Now, if this is not a perfectionist and overthinking problem, I don't know what is. Right? Yes, there are some circumstances where the amount of work you have is just too much, but in most circumstances, that's not really the case. The case is you're not using the time as effectively as you could. So check out that video. I'll also link it in the description below of the video of how you can use your calendar more effectively. Most people who overthink, the problem that they bring with themselves is, one is they overanalyze every single thing, especially the worst case scenario. Two is they think perfection exists. Therefore, they try to focus on perfection rather than making progress in their life. And three, overthinking really comes from this just idea that you can think your way out of a problem. But here's the thing, with overthinking, the cure is to take action, like I said earlier, right? So you cannot think your way out of the problem. You can think of solutions, but unless you apply it, it's not going to happen. So you have to actually take action. Now, here's a really quick way to turn your thinking around from negative to positive. Really simple. Instead of what if things go wrong, what if you said, what if it goes right? What if it goes more right than I ever expected? How will that be? Wouldn't that be awesome? So imagine how much more empowered you'll feel if you just think from a glass half full type perspective, where you're able to make progress and take action to making that positive outcome a reality. So in order to stop overthinking, you have to take action, change your mindset to think about how you can think more positively. Again, I've got a whole playlist that I'll link up here that you can check out about mindset. And three, you have to realize that progress is more important than perfection, because perfection is a myth. So I hope you found this video useful. And if you want any other contents covered, then just let me know in the comments below, or DM me on my social channels, which are linked in the description. If you like this sort of content, make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell, because I will be putting out videos every single week. Catch you in the next one.